All right, welcome back to the channel. So Deontay Wilder's team directly stepped to Tyson Fury's team over what they consider to be a setup in their second fight. I'm sure you've heard about that, but the teams literally stepped to each other, and the media throughout all of this ignores it and disrespects fans' intelligence, and I will explain to you why I believe that is the case in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury had a fight last February. I'm sure you heard of it. In this fight, Tyson Fury won. And to most of the world, the thought was that Tyson Fury won in devastating fashion, dominating fashion, and he was now the man in the heavyweight division, and then, as a result, the man in boxing. But then something happened called videotape. And people from Canada, people from outside of the United States started making videos about it and said, we think Tyson Fury cheated. This was somebody in Canada and some people in Europe. And then when people in America got wind of it, they started saying, hold on, we see it too. And a whole bunch of stuff started going down. Now, Tyson Fury has pulled out of the Deontay Wilder fight, and they are now in arbitration, a two-step process, mediation, then arbitration. What that means is they have to get together and talk and try to work it out. And if they can't work it out between themselves, then the arbitrator will make up the minds for the parties involved. And that's where they are, right? But you would not know that if you were actually paying attention to the media. Number one, you wouldn't know that Deontay Wilder that the Deontay Wilder's team member stepped to Tyson Fury's team member. You wouldn't know that through the mainstream media because they never talk about it. What they talked about was something that took place in an interview, but they didn't focus at all on the fact that there was literally somebody that is from Deontay Wilder's training camp that was in that same conversation that we saw in Barbershop Conversations. But nobody said anything about it. All they did was try to focus the attention on the guy with the hoodie. The guy with the do-rag. The guy that was dressed with his shoulders out, right? Looking as if he was somebody that just might be some random guy off the street. But he wasn't. He was a former police officer having a conversation with another police officer. And they had that discussion, and it was very clear that they both knew what was going on, and they both agreed at the end of it that it was a good conversation, but then people tried to start making a whole lot of stuff out of it, right? Which was to attack Drew Titan, the guy that was asking the questions. Fair if you didn't like that. But I wonder, why didn't you say anything about Tay Jones? Tay Jones, so that you know, has been the person that has been sharing all of the information that was coming out of Deontay Wilder's camp about what he thought that Tyson Fury had done in the fight. Tay Jones was the one that said that. Tay Jones was the one that talked about the gloves. Tay Jones is the one that talked about the water. Tay Jones is the one that did that prior to Deontay Wilder speaking, was the one that was letting everybody know what was going on. Why does the media not say anything about the fact that Tay Jones said something to Sugar Hill in that conversation? That Tay Jones said something to the effect of, I know what you did. You know what you did. There will be a third fight, and I will see you there. Something to that effect, right? I'm paraphrasing. But you would think that all of these people that were so upset at a YouTube channel for actually engaging in journalism, asking tough questions of somebody that came there specifically for the purpose of being asked tough questions, that's what he's supposed to do as a journalist. But no, that's not what the rest of them focused on. I mean, that's what they focused on. Why would he ask these questions? Didn't say a word about the fact that that both of these guys that were talking to each other in that conversation. Tay Jones is a member of Deontay Wilder's team, and everybody knows it. Sugar Hill is the trainer of Tyson Fury, and everybody knows it, but somehow the media missed that angle and didn't let you know that it was Deontay Wilder's team that was in the chest of Sugar Hill. And they didn't want you to know that. Similarly, it seems as if they don't want you to know that there's no likelihood, really, of Tyson Fury fighting Anthony Joshua anytime soon. So instead of focusing the Tyson Fury press on the only real story there is with Tyson Fury, which is that he's in court, and they're trying to force that Deontay Wilder fight, be clear. That's the only news that there is about Tyson Fury. Only legitimate leading stories that should be about Tyson Fury should be he's in mediation and he's not even out of that yet. And then when he gets out of mediation, if they can't work something out, which I have a hard time believing that they're not going to do, then you have to go and have an entire arbitration process after that. So if he's going through all that, how can the fight with Anthony Joshua be imminent? It can't be. You're trying to keep Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury's name together so you can just keep Tyson Fury's name out there and keep it out there about something that is not negative. But the only real news out there about Tyson Fury that people should talk about is negative. Number one, he doesn't have a UK boxing license. So how is he going to fight in the UK when he's not even applied for a boxing license? That might seem small, but it's really not when you consider the Martin Carefoot issue and the fact that the British Boxing Board of Control did not ever want to give Tyson Fury his license back after that stuff happened with Vladimir Klitschko and Christian Hamer. So it's not even really clear whether or not he's going to get a British boxing license. Then the UK is on lockdown. So there's no fights taking place in the UK for the foreseeable future because their virus, whatever you call the virus threshold level, whatever the metrics that they use for that, is going up you have the charts and they kind of go up slowly like this, right? It's like go from low to high gradually over time. Theirs looked like this. Went here and then it went boom, straight up, straight up. That is some serious stuff. So that is not likely to be overcome anytime within the next within the next 6-8 months, man. I mean, let's be real. The vaccine is just coming out to health providers, and it's December, okay? And it's going to be the end of the year before people are really, hopefully by the end of 2021, that people are going to be ready for that. So those two things are not there. And Anthony Joshua's not even going to fight him. Let's just be real. How about and to boot, you're actually trusting that Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn are going to really make that fight and not continue to coast out with championship fights with Anthony Joshua. I don't buy it. But just the whole coverage of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder by the mainstream media has been so ridiculously one-sided that it's like you have to make videos on it. I feel like I have to talk about it on a regular basis because if you just look at the coverage for Tyson Fury, if there's 20 articles, maybe one hints on the fact that he's in court, right? And that's something that should be front and center in any conversation. But also, when Deontay Wilder's team steps to Tyson Fury, the media then again distracts, deflects, and puts it off of what the real issue was, which is Deontay Wilder's team talked to Tyson Fury and push it off on a YouTube channel and why he asked Sugar Hill so many tough questions. You know how it goes, man. They're trying to cover up for Tyson Fury so they can have their hope, and they hope that their hope can make it through. But their hope ain't going to make it through because it's already known, man. You can keep on acting like it ain't the case, but people know it's the case because we're going to keep on talking about it, and it's not going to go away. But that's my take on the matter. You let me know yours, and with that, I'm out. Peace.